Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Academy Award winner Forest Whitaker will make his Broadway debut opposite Tony Award winner Frank Wood in the Eugene O'Neill masterpiece Hughie. Under the direction of Tony Award winner Michael Grandage, it will open on February 25th at the Booth Theater. And I caught up with the Oscar-winning star and company during a break in rehearsal. So here we are. I'm about to tell you, you're about to make your Broadway debut.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It's really exciting. It makes you a little. It's a very daunting experience. I'm quite nervous, but I'm also excited. And I feel if we can meet that challenge and like offer that to the audience and hopefully connect with an audience, I think that will be a feeling that will be like no other. Yeah.
This is a beautiful play. I told Michael that I saw this in the 70s with Ben Gazzara.
Oh, okay.
And then I got to see Al Pacino, and I saw Jason Robards do a reading of this, scenes of this, which totally blew me away.
You know, you're one of the few people that has really seen the play, and definitely no one has seen. I think I've met one person maybe who's seen it, and you're the only person I've met who's like seen like 3 different performances of it. That's I wish I could. I'm curious. Were they very different?
Yes, all of them different.
I was wondering because the thing about this play was interesting was when they talked to me about doing it, I read it. I was like, I don't know it. I've been wanting to do something original. This is original because I have no idea, no impression, not even an image of a photo still that I'd seen in some book before, you know? And so that was exciting to get the opportunity to try to bring a new character to life. But you've seen it brought together 3 times.
And they're all different. They were all different because it's everyone's different interpretation of this man and the great words. Talk about just saying Eugene O'Neill's words, what that means to you.
Oh, no, it's, you know, every time I'm working on the script and every time I'm looking at the lines, first of all, it's quite a funny play, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm always like discovering the cleverness inside of it, but also like just the way he plays with sound, the rhythms that he creates by just the way people speak, the period speak that they have has its own life and rhythm that helps to dictate to me or helps me figure out what I'm to do, you know, which is very powerful, you know.
And he's working with Frank Wood, one of our finest actors, and then your director, Michael Grandage.
Yeah. You know, me and Michael had gotten to talk, and we were talking about doing the piece, and but then we started meeting. We had a couple of little quiet meetings where we would read the play through and just like see how it was feeling with us. And coming here to starting the play with him, I was really excited, and it's been a real great journey already. I mean, we started up on our feet, moving forward, you know. And when I met with Frank, the first time I met Frank, I remember because I read with all the actors, you know, for Michael, and I read, and I was like thinking, God, this is the guy, you know. I hope this is the one who does it because he's such a strong actor, you know. I mean, and it's a really difficult role he has, and the play really deals with our connection. So, but it's also about our disconnect that moves to connection, and I think he's the perfect guy to do it. He's such a talented actor.
So as you're getting ready to make your debut, coming to Broadway, what it means to you and what you're looking forward to the most with having Hughie on Broadway and yourself being here?
Well, I'm hoping I'm just going to fall into a deepening and a deepening and a deepening as I continue doing the play. That I'm going to experience that quality of like walking in the same space, doing the same piece all the time, and what it does to me as a human, to see when I fill myself with that kind of energy every night, what it's going to mean. I haven't had that experience really for this long a period of time, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, hopefully, more importantly, I hope the audience like really grabs it and connects to it and like gets something from it, you know. That's, I think, the biggest thing is like, if I can have that kind of connection with the audience where we both go into this journey that like elevates us both, you know.
I mean, what a way to break it down with Forest Whitaker, with your director Michael Grandage. I mean, what has the whole process been like working?
Well, it's been in the sense, I mean, they're so good at their jobs that it's been like the best of what theater should be, which is people loving a play and showing great respect to a text, and then looking around each other and sort of enjoying the trust you can have in the other people in the room, you know. But it's been, you know, obviously a privilege to work with these 2 men.
Yeah. I adore this play. Many people don't know it. It's a sort of like little hidden masterpiece of his. It's only been done very rarely. I mean, what can you tell us about the play and the man that you play?
Okay. Well, the play, I mean, it's a beautifully unbalanced play overtly. You know, there's one person who talks almost all the time and one person talks very little. But the action in the play is shared equally by the 2. And it's that trick, it's that skill that what O'Neill created in this play was a really beautiful, in some ways an homage to Strindberg, to The Stronger, you know, a play with, but really he created silence and noise gave them equal value, I think, you know. There was some other part of your question that I can't remember.
Who you play?
Oh, so I play the night clerk, who's doing a lot of listening, or at least a lot of sending his mind somewhere outside the room he's in some cases past the person who's talking to him, you know. But he's a man who's trying to sort of survive the night, in a way. Himself, sort of survive his own demons, you know.
What do you love the most about O'Neill and his words?
I like that they are they're not really about the unconscious is included, but it's also really vomited up a little bit. I mean, people are living their lives in the words, you know, and they are seeking all the time how to keep their heads above water. So it's always vital, and it's always about staying alive, you know. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to the most with returning to Broadway and to the beautiful Booth Theater with Hughie?
Well, I'm looking forward to it all. I mean, I'm looking forward to being on Broadway is, you know, always like a real... It's sort of a privilege. It's a privilege, and it's just a great ride. And people like you come and ask, you know, care about my opinion, you know. So that I really like, and I really like just knowing that you've got the most beautiful. You know, you get to be inside the best setting. You know, the best setting, the most respectful and honored and gorgeous setting for a play. You know.
And just working with Forest Whitaker, I mean, so far, you're still in the middle of rehearsal and all. I mean, he's making his Broadway stage debut, hasn't been on stage in a long time. What's it like working with him? What do you admire the most about him?
First of all, I admire obviously his talent, and his talent is linked to just beautiful sort of ease and modesty and sort of personal, clearly sort of kindness. He seems to be infused with a kind of gentleness of spirit, but also and also he's just, I feel like for somebody who's so well known, he seems to have a really great sense of himself, you know, and as far as the work goes, it's always you know, to be in the middle of rehearsal, it's always exciting, you know.
What do you admire about these two men you're working with?
Well, they're remarkable actors in their own right, both of them. I mean, Forrest, of course, I will say, because we knew it was his debut, I thought there would be certain things that would not be there necessarily at the beginning and that we'd need to... Not at all. The man seems to have a total spatial awareness of how a stage works. He has every single bit of understanding about scale. None of it is done for a camera. Either he's held on to it from his training or it's in his DNA, I don't know. But all the things that you might expect or indeed worry about in somebody making their debut are not there. He's bringing what he does as an actor, which is real excavation of character, as Frank does as well. Both of them are people who like to look at what's on the page, look at what they can bring that's not on the page, draw the two together. It's an extraordinary opportunity for a director, because I'm in this room with these two sort of brilliant artists, and we're just making the work together in as you can see, in a nice room in 42nd Street and on Broadway, where the play takes place. It's set in this hotel lobby on Broadway, and here we are on Broadway doing it. It just all feels very right.
The set is stunning. Talk about your set design.
Well, the set design has to be what it is, which is a lobby of a hotel in 1928 off Broadway. And the designer, Christopher Oram, has taken a lot of reference from a lot of photographs. The great joy about this period is at the start, in the early days of photography, people were kind of going wild with taking photographs of everything. And so for us, there's a lot of stuff to draw on as research. And we've used it all in terms of the way the design works, and created a lobby that will go into the Booth Theatre. And I love the idea that our audience will come in off the streets of Broadway, sit down and watch something that is also off the streets of Broadway. It's a nice joining up.
So what are you looking forward to the most with bringing Hughie to Broadway?
I'm looking forward mainly to the fact that it's a play that rarely gets done on Broadway, and it's got so many themes that speak to so many people now. I'm looking forward to it being a piece that feels utterly relevant. I think in that respect it's quite like a new play, and I hope there'll be many people in the audience every night who not only will get treated to wonderful acting, and not only get treated to a wonderful story and a very moving story, but they'll also, like all good theatre, do a little bit of inquiring about themselves. That's the best bit of it. That's the best bit of O'Neill, and it's the best bit of this play.